30 days of unplanned content with one take. I'm nervous, I have to say. Welcome to my channel and welcome to an experiment which I felt so strongly called to do, which is coming on YouTube for 30 days without a script, without planned content, with my cat meowing in the background because she wants to go out but she has hurt her paw. And I'm just here with you. Thanks for watching. It's gonna be interesting because really the only idea I have, or the only thing which is present right now, is I want to break through the fear of being not taken serious, the fear of judgment, the fear of not making things perfect, and the fear of, if I'm not serious, people will not be interested in my work. I don't know if you know me, but I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, I help people on their path in difficult situations, etc., etc. You know, I don't want to go too deep right now into it, but part of my programming and of my conditioning is telling me if I haven't figured it out, the whole package, how can I help others? Yeah, and I think many of us have the same programming, and it's a saboteur. It is the biggest saboteur all along, because you don't have to actually figure out the whole thing to show somebody else the next few meters on their path, you know. I remember, this limiting belief, this mindset has been with me for years. And I remember I was living in Glastonbury, it was 2019. And I had I think I had an event planned or something, and I was so worried and I was so in stress. And my friend Solomon said to me, Verena, why do you stress so much? He said, just show up there, give your best, and the rest, hand it over to the universe, to God, to your guides, whatever you want to believe in. And I was like, I can do this? I was like, really? I thought I have to do it all alone, and I thought I have to be perfect. Be perfect, you know, that showing up in a place where admitting that not everything is as it should be. Don't know what it should be, because who says it should be like that? It's like society in a way, and we all committed to that belief that we should be married by 28. We should have our own house by turning 30. We should have a leadership role by turning 35. We should have 2 kids by whatever age. You know, it's all a construct, and many people subconsciously or consciously agree to that. It is that they agree to it, basically. And once you agree to something, it becomes your frame. A concept you measure yourself by. You measure your success, your worth, and whether you're valuable or not. And really, to be really, really honest, I did that for such a long time. And I'm doing some real deep shadow work at the moment for myself. And I came across so many layers of that, of wanting to be perceived in a certain way, wanting to achieve things. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong about achieving things in life, but it's about what's the intention behind why you do it. Are you doing it because there's the joy of expressing your inspiration? Is it you love what you do so much that you just cannot stop? And or is it subconsciously? Because my programming was like really, I had facets of it, like parts of it were clear to me, but the depth of that, not really. So the other option is, are you doing it to be finally understood, be finally liked, be finally seen by your parents, by your family, by people who judged you in the past? And I found out a lot of what I was doing was because I wanted to be finally seen. I wanted to be taken serious. I wanted to be understood. Yeah. And it actually was, I believe, the part which held me back. So, these 30 days, they are free. I allow myself to be completely free, to let my serious German part be in the back seat, to let my former diplomatic career and being somebody with a career and being somebody serious sit in the back seat and just allow myself to be free. Allow myself to be seen. I will share stories. I don't know what will come up. I allow whatever is present in the moment to flow through me, which is actually something I really, really love, because then you're in the moment. Whenever we plan something, we're actually connecting to a time period which is not now. And I don't say planning is bad, but I love to actually speak in the moment. So I'll just take it day by day. I'll see what wants to be shared. You can obviously comment, and I'd love to read some comments of yours. And maybe you can resonate to this whole pressure of performance, and that we think we can only be successful when we show up in a certain way. And for me, I had this thought, that the subconscious belief that people would only listen to me if I've already made it, and with making it, I mean financially, like big sums. I don't even know where I picked that thought up all along. But we don't know. Like when we are conditioned, we are really young, mostly from 0 to 7. And part of our conditioning is not even only from this life. So it could be that your soul is carrying from another life and it's bringing it all over into this life. And you're like, where is this coming from? Why do I have that feeling? Because I was journaling a lot, and I was like, I don't know where actually this is coming from. For some parts, I totally understand. I can totally trace it back to my childhood. Whereas others, I'm like, where? How? But I also have to say, we have a genetic imprint, although the environmental imprint, with that I mean how you grow up, who is your caretaker, what do they think, what do they believe, how do they treat you, how do they view the world, has the majority of your conditioning. But I still believe there's a genetic imprint as well. And I don't know my granddad, my father's father, my grandmother. She already, she passed away in 2004 on Christmas. I think one day before the tsunami happened. I was in Australia at that time. I remember I was 20 years old. Cleo. The doctor was here before and gave her an injection, and now she's convinced she's strong enough to go outside again, which I'm not. So you might hear her talk in the background. Not talk, but being like, why do I have to stay inside? So anyway, my grandmother never told my dad who his dad was. For we don't know the reason. I tried to find it out. I talked to a medium. She told me he is American and lives in Switzerland in an adult, how do you say that, in an elderly home. So I think I called all over Switzerland. to ask for the name she gave me, which I didn't find a person with that name. So I tried to speak, basically I did that before with her relatives, which were still alive, and they all said they don't know, which I don't believe. But well, you cannot force somebody to tell you something they don't want. And of course it's a big secret, and it's like also a mystery, because I would love to know, because I'm missing out a whole part of my family, basically. They could be from wherever. I oftentimes, like, 2 people said they are from abroad, so that could also explain why I'm living abroad, you know. I don't know. I don't know if this mystery will ever be revealed to me. I'm still open, you know, I would wish to find out more, but it's out of my hands. I have to trust that if I will not find it out, it's for the greater good of all who are involved in that. And I have to accept that. So why am I saying that now? I lost my thought train. Anyway, I'm from Germany. I was born in Bavaria, in a small village close to a city called Landshut. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I lived there until I was, I believe, 13, and then I moved to my dad's home, which was in the same, close to the same city, but a little bit further out in the suburbs. I think I'd say that. And then when I was 16, I moved away. But still I was in Bavaria. And then my first time abroad was when I was 19. I left for Australia. And that has shaped me big times, I have to say, because before my parents never traveled a lot with us. The only thing we went was Italy, I believe, Austria and Croatia maybe. But that was it. And to go to Australia all on my own, I was traveling before. I was traveling to France, but on my own when I was 9, which was quite a journey, which, I didn't like it. But my how do you say, uncle thought it would have been a great idea. Anyway, I went to Australia, and that was when I was bitten by the travel bug, when I was really starting to find out who I was, or remembered who I was beyond conditioning. It was scary at the same time because I had no plan. I didn't go with an agency or something like many people did. I just flew over there. I knew a friend of mine is there. And I knew I could crash on his couch for a couple of weeks. But that was it. That was the plan. And but it worked itself out. It was quite a tough time. I had some tough bosses, and I did some really hard work as a nanny with 3 kids. And the parents weren't really very understanding. They didn't understand that I was just 19 years old, like pretty young. And I was all alone the whole day long with 3 little kids. 6 months, time I was 2, and the third girl was, I think, 3.5. So they were really like tiny toddlers, babies. And I was their caretaker. But I did it. And I also worked as a waitress in several places. And I explored Australia. I went all the way up the East Coast, down the East Coast. I flew to Queensland, went with a bus, or with a gun. No, with a gun. I went from Alice to Adelaide. But I went through the outback to Uluru, like Ayers Rock, and all the way down to Adelaide and Great Ocean Road, Sydney. And it was an adventure. And I was really, I was young. I was not even 20 years old. And it made me aware of my capacity. It made me aware of who I was, being far away from home. When nobody knows you, you can just be... Oh, my cat. is going a little bit nuts. Cleo, who you are, I think she is. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm back. So basically, when you travel and nobody knows you, they have no concept of you, your personality. You can be like a new person. You can find out who you really are. That's why traveling and going away from home for a while is really, really valuable and can help a person very, very much to find out who they really are, basically, beyond the expectation of a partner, of family, of friends, because everybody holds a different version of you. Like, you are so many different versions, or there are so many different versions of you out there, you will not even believe, because everybody sees you in a different way from their point of view, from their perception. Like, people will describe you in different ways, not because you're like bipolar, but they have a different perception of who you are. So once you go out into the world and there's no friend, no family, nobody who knows you, you can actually experiment and be somebody completely different and do something which you would be scared to do at home because of what people think about you. And yeah, but talking about that, what people think about you, I'm really like, this whole thing about what people think about us is limiting so many people, and it's killing so many dreams. And in the end, if at the day of our departure in this life, we will not think about what Megan, Kimberly, Steffi, or Melanie thought about us. It will be, oh my God, why did I not do this? Why did I not just, I don't know, quit my job and move abroad? Why did I not just leave my hometown to, I don't know, walk the Camino? Like, why did I not just write that book? Why did I not just, I don't know, become a painter? This is the regrets we have. And I think that's what we then will really regret, because it doesn't matter in the end. And with the people who are judging you, they only, your internal voice is externalized. If somebody judges you, listen to them and then see where you still hold onto that belief to. Because it's all just a mirror reflection of our internal beliefs. And if you know about Carl Jung, he said that, you know, like, and I really, like, in the past I was like, oh, the universe does this and the universe is setting up that. The universe is setting up nothing. It's your subconscious mind. It's the beliefs you hold about what's possible for you and what isn't possible for you, and what you can do and what you can't do. And as soon as you expand beyond what you have been programmed, what your paradigm is, your subconscious mind just starts to run amok. It's not the universe testing you. It's not the universe setting you up. It's you. And it's that critical phase once we expand and, once we expand, once we want to grow, once we want to be more. And then many people, including myself, many times, I was like, oh, that's a sign that this is not for me. That's the proof that it's bad. It's not the proof. It's just growing pains, I'd call it, because you want to expand into something. So let's talk let's take the example of a child. When they grow, their feet will not fit in the same shoes anymore, so they will experience pain. And it's exactly the same. The micro is the macro and the macro is the micro. You can always find a great example within your normal life for what's going on spiritually. So if you're in a really uncomfortable situation, you ask yourself, do I still want that? Does that thing, that me being a painter, still excite me so much? And if the answer is clearly yes, then this is just life happening. And it's just situations happening. And if you don't give it a good or a bad stamp, it's just an experience which you're going to move through to move towards where you want to go, your dream, your vision, your goal. And I don't know if there's anything else to say. It's a journey. It is a journey. That I can tell you. I've been for the last 10 years since I quit my job, which I did in the beginning of 2016, it's been a journey. A great one, but a challenging one at the same time. And, you know, if in the beginning I always thought, okay, I worked with my Reiki healer. She was like a sort of a consultant, not consultant, that's the wrong word, like a mentor, a Reiki healer, and did many, many things. And I was like, okay, now this is the last session, then I'm done. Then I figured it out, you know, only to find out I was never done. And that doesn't mean like to make you feel like, what, never done? But it's life. We always expand, we always grow, we always learn more. And that's actually the reason we're here. We're not just here to have figured it out with 30, like a society expects us, and then just sit and do nothing. And that's why it's so, you know, many times like there was so much pain when I said, yeah, you still don't have a partner? Clear. You are mousy. You still like don't know, like whatever, you know, all of this. You still don't have a partner, you still don't have a house, you still are not married, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not. But this concept of what is a successful person, what is a person that has achieved something, is rigid. And I think we're in a period of the development of this planet where this is changing, and maybe will swing towards the other end for a while, you know, because the pendulum is in this side, and before it comes back to a center, it needs Cleo, no, shh. Oh no, Cleo. Oh. I'm a helicopter mom. Did I mention that? Yeah, that's one thing about me. I'm super, I care a lot about my animals. Someone said it's a couple of months ago in January actually, she said, oh, you never had kids? I said, not yet. And then she said, yeah, because I can feel this, because you're too worried. And I was like, yeah, most probably I'm a little bit too worried. So now you know that about me. I really deeply care about my animals, which both of them are rescues. They were rescues. And now they have a proper home with me since many years. But I still, you know, when they're not feeling well, I'm like overly accommodating, overly protective. And I think it's a good thing. And I lost what I was saying. That's something about me as well. So sometimes I lose my thought train. And I saw something yesterday which I want to share with you as well. I don't know if you identify as ADHD. And I know many people around me which do. And I once read a little bit deeper into it, and I was like talking with my friend about it, and she said, don't make this a theme. Don't make this a diagnosis, because it's like something you identify with. And I was like, that's so true. I don't want to identify with something like that. I'm just me, with all my parts, all my bits and pieces, maybe my weirdness, maybe my craziness, but that's me. And I think in that is so much healing. Once we really allow ourselves to be who we are, weird, not weird, with all our little bits and pieces, other people accept you as well. And I know that this is a journey. And some people are more easy with that, and some people a little bit less. I'm still on the journey. I'm here. I'm with you. And I'm so excited about this next 30 days, really. If you have any questions, just share them in the comments. I make this as, I make this as you sit with me in my humanness, and I want to allow myself to believe, not only to believe, but to see that I'm still an amazing mentor, that I'm still an amazing coach, reader, astrologist, even so I haven't figured it out all the way. And maybe that helps you too, because I'm already doing what I love doing, and I'm already helping many people, but still the thought was lingering in the depth of my subconscious mind. And now here we are. And one sure thing how you can release and heal something that is holding you back, like something you fear, is to face it, because that will sort of shed light onto it, and then you will see that it was actually an illusion all along, a construct you made up in your mind, and that it's just not real. With that being said, I think that was it for today, and I'm curious for this journey. I hope you too. I hope you stick along for the next 30 days, or however long. 30 days is what I agreed to with myself, but we see however long we go. And maybe I can inspire you to do something which you think is scary and which you don't have a plan yet, but just to commit to it and do it, and show up in your imperfection, and show up in your how you are and who you are, because that's actually your greatest marketing, your greatest radiance, and your greatest magnetism, because that's when people find out who you truly are, and they'll be like, hey, I think that person is pretty cool. I actually like her. And they will stick along for the ride. So if you like me, stick along, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Bye-bye.